Hello, my fellow YouTubers. This is a experiment on what I believe to be somewhat proof that there is no difference in electrical energy between positive and negative. It's just about their rotation. So, for instance, right now, the static machine is running, okay? Okay. So up here is the positive, down bottom's the negative. There's a pickup that's in the top there. That's metal thing there with the little teeth is a pickup. And that piece of metal bar is attached to it. And then that metal bar touches the aluminum, which is like a capacitor and holds the charge. So there's your big massive positive charge. Now out of the bottom is right here is the teeth again, and that's your negative side. Now I got that coming out, a wire attached to it. It comes out, and it's connected to the top of this capacitor. Now what I wanted to do here was I wanted to take a capacitor, put it in line, in between a ground rod and the negative side of this static system. Now usually the negative side of this is dumped into the negative side of the motor. So just all the negatives are tied together. That's just the way the electricians and electrical people do stuff. And now we have it separated, so it's sort of free floating. Um, and this is all caused from the rubber band being in motion and collecting electrons and dispersing electrons. Now, on this rubber band, it's like a polypropylene. We'll go over here to the chart. Everything over here is a positive charge. Everything over here is a negative charge. And polypropylene is over here on the negative charge. Okay, so it's a negative charge. And so that is going to force um, positive charge, I believe, to the top. And it's a little snappy right now. So, with that being said, then your aluminum up top falls over here on the positive charge. So your aluminum becomes the positive out of that rubber band because it's a positive charge itself. So it'll absorb electrons, massive amounts of them. So back to the energy, the electricity here is the same except for its rotation, meaning rotation is how it turns in the wire, whether it's a positive or negative. So coming out of the bottom, we have to the top here. So this is a negatively charged right here center. Okay, and pretty much it's charged up, and it'll probably hurt if I put my finger on it. But what we have here is a ground rod, and what I'm saying here is because that's a negative, we're going to actually pull positive charge out of the ground in order to light this LED, because this LED will not light if you just have one charge. Positive, I mean negative charge, ground's going to be providing positive if it lights up. If it doesn't light up, then we have no charge. And there it is, lit up. Got some red going there. So this is pretty incredible experiment here, guys, because this puts another big cookie on the shelf of knowledge. And I hope you guys are uh, also able to use this knowledge in whatever you're working on in your fun factory of garage or space in your house. So, And I'm going through the capacitor. Do I have to go through the capacitor? No, I can go ahead and touch this side. Well, I mean this side. One hand is all I have. So it's on. Okay. But I was more curious why I used the capacitor is because then you have energy transferring from that center, and you can see that there's a little electric moving. You see that electric moving, and that electric moving is making the light flash. So it's got to be pulling positive up from the ground, because the ground is nothing more than a dielectric itself, and it's sharing energy from the ground. We need to realize that we could use that energy from the ground in different ways. I call it teasing, but it's a little bit more extensive than the words I used before, 4 years ago when I first started doing this stuff. And I basically, I ain't saying I know anything, because I don't know anything, but I'm saying this, I really knew nothing. Nothing. And to you guys who are working in your garage or interested in any of this stuff, um, if I can give any advice, learn the basics of how electrical and magnetism things work so you don't hurt yourself. But once you know the basics so you can keep yourself safe, then take those basics and go ahead and start stretching the envelope, because um, there's a lot there that we just go right past. And I'm not talking about we, I'm talking about humans in time. They just overlook stuff because it becomes part of knowledge of the past and it's not present to the day. And I like learning about all this because I think this knowledge could take you past the day into the future. So you look back at time, and that's what I'm all about. Whether it's Leedskalnin, Tesla, um, uh, Cooks, um, Einstein, geez, Maxwell, you can go on and on. Edison, Stubblefield, God, Wilhelm Reich, the energy accumulator. Fascinating stuff. I think that's what is my cement bond that brings all this stuff together. And, then you got this machine that I've been working on here, and this is the machine that you have to just put a charge into it. And once you charge it, um, it'll it'll keep doing like I showed on a couple of videos ago with the energy in motion. But I could never get it running. So now I think I have more knowledge based off of how the rubber band machine works on this. I want to be self-turning. So basically, if I start the process of putting a static charge from that machine over to this machine and have it to where somehow I want to incorporate magnets to where I can get a magnet to see a magnet, the energy inside the magnet is in motion, just like this guy here. Still stuck. Ed Leedskalnin's PMH, still stuck. Energy's running in motion. In fact, I coiled up, ran positive through this way. So basically, I have motion going in this direction. That caused the electrical field to go that way, the magnetic field to go across that way. So the force went that way, the energy is running this way, and it goes around in a loop. The energy could be used in that sense in a machine like this that would cycle, each one of these cylinders would cycle two ground rods, one ground rod on one side, one ground rod for the other side, and whatever field, positive or negative, whichever way I turn, that energy, that energy we're talking about, that's bipolar basically, that would be spun in a direction this way, so it would cause a positive, and then it would be spinning in the opposite way on that side, cause a negative, and then that reflect would be going to ground rods, which would acquire the energy that's it it's opposing. So if this was positive, the negative would be coming from the ground. So what you would look to do is tap into that positive, tap into that negative, and put your load in between it. And I think that's where the magic is, because now you're making the ground provide the energy to that one side, and you would do it to both sides. So you'd be tapping on both sides. But yeah, between this guy, and between all the knowledge, keep leaving your comments. I love the comments. Try to like them, I guess, if you don't mind, or leave like or dislike. If you don't like it, leave your comments. Tell people, more subscribers. I don't get a lot of growth in subscribers like some other people, but it's slow growth, just slow growth. But spread the word. Maybe I'll open up a Facebook and a Twitter account for this thing, and I don't know what to do with it, but it's fun learning. That's all I gotta say. It's very fun learning. So we're lighting the LED recap. LED from the ground providing one side of the energy, and the static machines providing the other side. And we're taking the negative from the static. So we'll do another video in the future, because we'll check to see if we pulled the positive side from the top to there, and then we did the same thing here. And if the LED lights, then that means now it's pulling negative from the ground, because it's having positive up above it. Peace out, my brothers.